Alright, so we're gonna be playing some furry shit. Stories, the Path of Destinies. I have no idea what Omen site means. Visit store page. Okay. No. That's not a great start.
Once upon a time, the
It
infamous
starts with
rover
subtitles.
Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows. She rasped, reluctantly.
Your presence is the sign
And
of
he
the
whiled away his
darkest of
days at home with
times.
music,
What is happening?
cards, and wine.
Why am I hearing two things?
Had changed.
Vera,
He'd been good once. a
our
shy,
protector
almost
from the
humble
void.
toad.
What am I hearing?
Her soul has vanished.
What am I hearing?
Started whispering about mass
Her
graves in the
connection.
woods.
What? Is that the game overlapping?
Villages, and no one ever returned.
They fight a war
The
that's
ravens had come to
already
Dubar
lost.
shouting for ancient books said to be of great power.
Blinded.
The librarians had hidden the books.
The
So they
hungry
burnt the
beast is
librarian.
growing.
The citizens,
Am I hearing two games?
Only Vera can put
the
an
ravens
end
had come back to drop ship.
What is happening?
One of his books.
to
Brave,
the eyes and the
dumb,
sword and
wanted
the
to join the
tree of
rebellion.
life.
What am I hearing right now?
Promised his mother
You
he'd
must
protect her.
find her soul.
What? What?
The kid was looking down.
No, but
watching
what?
the city burn. Sorry, kid. Reynardo told the kid. Look, if we give them the book,
Oh no, it's doing the
they'll leave you
Bastion
alone.
thing.
My mother died for this book. I promised her I'd protect you. Oh, damn it. The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
Okay. So, we got overlapping dialogue for some reason. I have no idea what was happening because some of it was overshadowed by the rest of it for no explanation. And now I've discovered that it's Furry Bastion. I'm so confused. I don't know why they were overlapping like that. Visually, the game's
two ravens were
nice,
staring at the
but
kid like he was their
only
dinner,
kind of.
which probably was what was in their tiny brains. Hey, Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. Pick on someone as ugly as you. Wait, that didn't come out right. For the Emperor! The ravens cawed and rushed at him.
For the Emperor. Okay, that combat's not bad. An enemy is about to attack to counter. Oh god, there's parrying? Okay. Yeah, that's not great parrying, it turns out. I mean, it's serviceable, but it's not the best. Okay. You can actually just hold in a direction and start going to town, basically. That's fine. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this art style. Like, I like it, but at the same time, I'm left kind of wanting. But I guess it's an indie game.
Dropship flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling the Bastion vibe to it, though, because it just feels kind of like tread upon ground. But that's whatever. X to grab, aim, X to throw. Okay, I actually really like that. So that's... basically you get a quick attack. That seems to be the only method of attack, but then you get a grab if you hold and angle in a direction.
Oh, right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate. Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels, or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Reynardo going to get a hero sword?
Probably from this chest down here or something. Or just right here.
I could forge a hero sword here, but I'm going to need ore.
Oh, this is really weird. Like this is a strange. Like they're throwing me in basically, and just telling me to swim. All right.
I hope nobody minds if I use this stuff.
Wind essence and 3 ore. All right.
A hero sword. QED.
Hero sword, firestorm, void blade. Yo. I'm a bit confused why void blade is made using wind essence, but you know, sure, whatever. Okay. Winterthorn. It's so there's only like 4 blades throughout. Well, apparently the benefit of a hero sword is you look badass, and also allows to heal oneself on level 2. So hopefully we can do that soon. That's such an odd way to get into a gate, is to need a specific kind of blade.
This is what he got for settling
The
down
wind
and finding
void?
people to care
Yeah.
about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Reynardo's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid.
Jesus Christ,
But she
the
never told him where
ravens
the book
came to
was.
burn her.
Just the kid.
Like, this is escalating.
He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across? He asked the kid. Where'd you find a hook? I hopped, said the kid. Wise-ass kid. Hey, look out behind you!
Wait, so because he's a rabbit,
Cute,
he has jumping
said
abilities in
Reynardo.
this universe?
Oh,
Foxes can jump pretty high. And pretty far. I think that he should be able to make it. Okay, it's actually a pretty generous, it's a pretty generous period of time that you get there, so that's not bad.
Across the ledge and chase the kid down.
Like, when you see that exclamation point, you can pretty much just push in that direction, it's fine.
Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
Maybe if we tutorialized him, he would understand how to use abilities. Okay, so there's a really simple stats tree.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Probably. I also remember how it is to
There
freeze
was the
time when you're
fast one.
attacking. That moment
the
of
fastest
just
ship you'd
everything
ever
going
known.
completely clear before
She
you
could do the
crack
Chester
somebody's
run
noggin.
12
It's
furlongs.
great.
Well, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. Stop! He shouted. I'm not giving you the book! Shouted the kid, and took off. No! Peter! But the kid ran for it. And a goggler nailed him with its ivy.
Oh shit. The kid's fucking dead. Well, alright. Wait a minute, so I gotta look at something here. Switch swords. So yeah, there's gonna be 4 swords for the different elements, basically. And there's gonna be a dash. Attack and grab are the same one. Activate sword. Okay, apparently I can't activate this sword. That's what we've learned.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it.
Jesus
Why hadn't he lied and
Christ.
told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Reynardo picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there.
Oh, fuck is
Be
right.
a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Fucking. Holy shit. We're like 10 minutes in and the kid got turned to dust. Like, eat shit, kid.
What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out. All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Cawed the Raven captain over the loudhailer. Reynardo could see them cranking up their catapults. Just going out for milk? Reynardo yelled back. Where can you run? Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job.
This is actually. Like, this is a lot all at once.
It cawed. The entire
This is a hell of an
fleet
intro.
was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Reynardo could bring a game changer. Maybe he could. Reynardo had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper. The legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods.
What the fuck
Surely a
is
legendary
this?
weapon could win the final battle.
Oh, I did not
On the other
expect
hand,
this.
His old friend Lapino had sent Reynardo a desperate message saying he had a
Also,
brilliant scheme
Lapino
to
is a
save the
rabbit. Who would have
rebellion.
guessed?
If Reynardo could only rescue him. Reynardo dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose.
Hello.
Lapino or the Sky Ripper.
You can't make new old friends. The rebellion was out of time and Reynardo needed a game changer, even though Lapino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer. He could come up with some harebrained schemes, maybe rescuing him was worth it. The rebellion was out of time, blah, blah, blah. An ancient artifact that defeated the lost gods would indeed be a game changer, though it was split into 2 pieces many years ago. Reynardo could rebuild it by first getting its armature. Okay, so this is how they're going to handle choices. They're basically going to make us choose a point of dialogue and then go for that for the rest of the plots. Okay. So, what do you guys think? Get a sidekick? Or get a doomsday weapon that kills gods? Because I'm leaning towards doomsday weapon. Considering the last person that we had in this game got turned to dust in front of us. I like killing God. Yeah, alright, we're gonna go build the Sky Ripper. Because that sounds ridiculous.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the Earth? It was more than Reynardo could fathom.
This is wild, how much exposition they're giving me. That's crazy. Like, that's so much all at once. There's this big empire. Turns out they killed a god with their technology, and now the other empire, or rather, other emperor has gone insane and is trying to bring back those gods. And it's like, I'm new to this. I just got in.
Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Alright, get the Sky Ripper armature. So it's telling me that I have to be, like, super focused, which, like, yeah, that's not really in my nature when it comes to video games either. I like to veer off, but
this chest made music when you opened it. Too bad it was Muzak.
What a weird game this is. Like, that dialogue is just incredibly strange. I'm just a simple furry. I'm just here for a yiff. I mean, that is what foxes make the sound of. Okay, the fact it's giving me so many upgrade materials right out of the gate there is a little bit weird. And it makes me wonder if maybe this was like a wrong decision to go along. Or if the game is going to get pissed at me for like sidetracking when it told me that it shouldn't. But yeah, like look at that. It's even more upgrade material. Then again, if it's this level of superficiality that it counts as like exploring, I guess that makes sense. Alright, let's go. Okay, hey, can I loot that?
If I craft a sword
oh, it's
now,
a workbench.
it's gonna be really short.
If I craft a sword now, it's gonna be really short. Gems. Select a gem. Gem socketing. This is gem socketing menu. Here you can equip powerful gems that augment both your offensive. Okay, so this is your way to get like stat boosts. And I don't have any of those right now, so it's irrelevant. Okay.
Who needed bridges anyway?
Wait. Oh, I might have locked myself out from that. I figure I'll come back around. I should have taken a boo over there, see if there was anything else. Oh yeah, like that's gonna be a teleporter. Yep, there it is. Oh, that's just gonna open. Without a question. Like, for as much as this game exposits on things, it really just kind of goes into it haphazard, doesn't it? Okay, are they gonna come around here? The answer is no. And they're super easy to kill. I assume they're probably gonna make that a
the
little
eyes have
bit
had it.
different later. Like, a little bit harder or something. I mean, all in all, this isn't exactly bad. It's not what I'd say is good. Like, it's just simple, I think, is the thing. But I kind of, like, I feel like that might be part of the appeal to it. Yeah, and that's when we're going to need the alternate hero's weapon. Okay, so we can shoot through that. So I wonder if this is actually going to protect us or not. Yeah, okay, I guess that's just how that is then.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands had died.
Okay, so these are all just
But
going to
Reynardo had
contain
been
health.
through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
Yeah, I don't even have the ability to rank up or anything. It's just, it's putting all these things before me, but not actually offering them up to me in any meaningful way. That's fine, I guess, but it's still a little bit confusing.
Hero wall. Hero sword. Ice wall.
Oh my god.
Cube.
Alright, well that was scary. Okay, I actually quite like that. Oh, you have a devil bringer. Ooh, hey, that's less good. Wow, okay, what a dick. Okay, so, I'm gonna explain what's happening there for me to take really dumb damage in that way. Effectively what has happened is I go to use this. Ooh, that was scary. I go to use this to grab them, but they jump at me, and I can't switch to the X block attack, like the counter with that. So it just actually just ends up in me taking damage like an idiot.
Reynardo's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
If I get a little bit more, I can get max HP. That was unexpected. Okay. This goes down towards that chest. I can't tell if this is like plot progression or not. The truth behind the Sky Ripper is shrouded in thick fog. The most believable tale is that the Transcendent Emperor has used the Sky Ripper to banish the Iblis.
How bad is it?
Pretty bad. Also, that sound is Rachel attempting to, you know, join the call, but apparently being unable to for different reasons. That's one thing we're dealing with right now. The TE buried the weapon and vanished. Was a self-imposed exile to rid the world of last divine presence. Was it the price to pay for using such tremendous power? Could the Sky Ripper and Iblis have been a deeper connection than just a weapon and his victim? My rituals will summon the Ableist stone. Perhaps I should worry that they will also cause the Sky Ripper to resurface. If that's the case, I should spare no resource to find it. A weapon that can banish a god is an invaluable bargaining chip should the old one decide to double-cross me. Yeah, you know, if you're trying to summon an old one, typically it's going to double-cross you.
It was good to practice your moves, thought Reynardo. Keeps you limber.
Okay, so that's going to require an ice one. And there's a teleport here, so I at least know I'm going to be coming back. That was... Ooh, there's many of them now. Ooh, there it is.
You blinked.
Trying to get it complicated now. Oh! That was really not how I planned that to go. That just kind of went from one to the other. Okay, Rachel wants me to mute my voice, so I'm gonna mute my voice in Discord. Oh, Christ.
How bad is it?
Well, that was just all static. Like, I heard how bad was it, and then just... Yeah, it was a static shock. No, I don't want to quit, thank you.
Have you ever felt you were just going round in circles?
There we go.
Reynardo felt like that.
There, excuse me, there we go. I feel like these things are way overhyped of an enemy. Like, they just kind of go out. Okay.
Just trying to teach you how to fly.
I wonder if that experience is cumulative based on the kills you get, or if it's really actually meaning anything, that your combat is getting you more or less, respectively. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I guess that's just resolved. But then what's going on over here? Oh, there's just area down here.
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
Haha. Very clever. One of these days, smashing something will give me stuff to do. Oh my god. Like, where am I even going right now? Okay, so I'm led to believe that there will be something that we can grapple to. So there's gonna be... That's probably from the firewall section. We're starting to get up on the wind essence, though. Might have to backtrack and go upgrade. Oh, hey. You just sounded fine there.
I sound okay?
Yeah. No static, and I'm not hearing myself when I talk either.
Alright, I don't know what the fuck I did, but there we go.
Nice.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you've never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Okay, so now I have a dash ability. And this seems like progression down here. We're gonna come back to that. I want to go back and backtrack to where I originally was and use that weapon upgrade thing if possible, because it said I could get a wind or a regen. Actually, do I even have the resources? Can I go back and kind of smash? Oh, that's so close, but that's so far.
In order for me to, like, not make static, I can't move anytime I talk.
Why was that what was causing it?
Most people still use doorknobs.
I have no fucking idea.
Like, are you sure that the moving was what was doing it?
Yes, because if I stand completely still, there's no sound, but the moment I move, it makes Discord freak out.
Huh.
So, yeah. Until I get a headset, this is what I gotta do.
I mean, there's a really easy way to get a headset. You just won't let me do it. I also wish you didn't throw out the ones that were broken. Oh wait, I'm locked in. Okay, never mind, I'm locked in.
Fucking having them if they're broken.
Because then I would have been able to figure out which ones they were and just get like another pair of those.
No, you're not gonna buy me anything. It's fine, I'll get one eventually. If people commission me, then I can get it myself.
Okay, let's interact with this.
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How is it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first,
Don't ask a
he'd get the
scientist,
second
because
piece.
they'd be lying and making me
Skyripper had a
pissed.
heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Okay, so love interest or some sort of female figure. But we already went and did the mission for the weapon piece, so it just seems logical to go to the next
It was a
weapon piece.
no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he
It's
had
like
to
trying to
get the
guilt
core.
trip me here, but like it dropped me in as a character I have no attachment to.
Doubt sunk in
Didn't
before he
explain
was
the
even out
backstory
sight
of-
the Farfarer.
Barely explained the
Why
personality
had he
for
chosen
her.
the Skyripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense?
No, it doesn't. The writing in this game is not its strong
All
suit.
these sword crafting materials, thought Reynardo.
Well, you're leaving your friends to die. Okay, but here's the thing. They're his friends. They're not mine. The only amount of backstory they gave me is, hey, it's your old friend versus a weapon that can supposedly destroy the gods, which it turns out is coincidentally what New Guy is trying to bring up. So, like, based on the information I have, it just seems logical to go with that. I'm not going to jump down that yet. Like, why would you not go with the thing that can kill a god? Why would you go with the friends when you know nothing about them? For all we know, they might betray you. They might have already betrayed you.
He was sort of yanking his own chain, wasn't he?
Yeah, somebody played Bastion and went, I really liked Bastion. And they decided to make this. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but just it reeks of Bastion. I think that's the only way that we could go. So yeah, now we're gonna have to jump down.
And this is why heroes are called dashing, Reynardo thought. See? Dashing? Get it?
That's so very, very sad. I mean, what's sad? I thought that the branch there was gonna hurt me, but no. Yeah, this game, like, it's okay, but it really doesn't communicate any sense of urgency or, like, any sort of connection to the character. Like, you don't empathize with them in any way. You don't really get anything for them. You see a child die and that's it. Kinda ain't a fan of this narrator. They're not great,
There
right?
was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
I think a big part of it for me is I played Bastion, and Bastion was like a genuinely really good game. And while I never really finished Bastion, I acknowledged how good it was. And then Divinity also has just a fantastic narration to it. And so going through two Divinities and then Bastion and this, and it's just like, yeah, it's whatever.
Caught one raven. Eat the rebel! Caught another.
Yeah, it's just, it's like Batman Arkham combat. Alright.
Reynardo had learned
It actually does have a style
There were
meter, so
fewer
it is
and
trying to
fewer
be
trees.
DMC though.
There are only these huge crystalline growths.
But you only have
Never
one
been
set
here
of
before.
attacks.
He no longer
and
heard
a
birds except
devil
for the
bringer.
feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
I like how it's saying he couldn't smell the rabbits and other small animals and he was getting hungry. So does that mean he eats them, or because he's friends with a rabbit, does he eat other rabbits that aren't his friend? Unless you get more swords. Defensive reflexes. Slow down time after a successful counter. We can become Bayonetta.
He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like it was at a reunion.
It has been saying that for a while, that you can remember how to slow down time. But I did I did not think that it was gonna just straight up go Bayonetta. Let's get more swords, maybe more combos. That's a good point. Come over here. It's referencing Mortal Kombat now. Alright. Doesn't seem to actually be slowing down time, but that's probably just on me. We got a great style, though. Okay, so it just hard locks you off every time you enter a combat area. So, yeah, I don't know what I did wrong there to get that going, but apparently I did something wrong that I'm not able to do combo. And by that I mean slow down time.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark art, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels
It also
began to
just
spin.
seems to be hits in a
glow.
row. It is just hits
The
in a
sick
row.
feeling
It isn't
quickly
anything
spun away.
complicated.
Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now he had to make his
It's
next move.
really telling me
There
that
was a
this
key
is the
Imperial
wrong
outpost
path
on
to
the
take.
Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Had Reynardo correctly assembled it, would it work at the critical moments? The scientists of the Nexus would surely give answers. Testing Imperial outposts and Nexus was perfect target. Okay, so here's the thing. It's trying to say combat. That's blue. This is red. All the past choices I've taken, I'm pretty sure, have been red. And I kind of do think that, like, being a not scientist, taking it to people who might understand it, is probably a better decision. It's just on a understanding level. Just because, like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you seek to know that you've actually done it correctly? So we're gonna do that.
Well, of course. If you've just assembled a weapon out of legend that can exile gods from the world, you'd want to have a scientist or two look at it. And even if they disagreed and you had time, you could ask Calaveras himself. Yes, the observatory would be his objective.
Going straight into battle with it just doesn't seem like a smart idea. Although I have no qualms with the fact that I could probably just kill them all.
Why had the parts of the Sky Ripper only surfaced now? Thousands of years after the Transcendent
I have a
Emperor
feeling
had
that this is
dismantled
supposed
it.
to be a
The
game
mad
that
Emperor Isengrim had performed
That's
terrible,
weird.
bloodthirsty rituals to invoke
that
the
you
lost
play through
gods.
once or twice to
Was
find
that
like all
why
the
these
endings.
ancient artifacts were rising out of the ground? How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction. He was practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
I mean, I have found something useful. Whoa. Okay, so we're back to that. This is not where I expected to go when they said scientist. I think it's unfair to rate you on style when you don't have a high enough amount of enemies to get your style up. Maybe it's like Shadow the Hedgehog endings. That's a good possibility.
A very clever engineer named Elon Muskrat got his start making floating platforms.
Elon
Not many
Muskrat!
people knew that.
Elon Muskrat. I hate this game.
He had all the ingredients for a pretty nifty sword.
Oh, I guess you can make the water essence sword. Okay, so it says slow down time after a successful counter until your next action. Okay, so if I don't do an attack, then I can slow down time. That's what I'm doing wrong, is I'm trying to do it too quickly. Okay, attack immediately when the previous attack hits to land a perfect strike, bonus damage, and double combo bonus. Maximum health. Run faster. Countering an attack now causes damage.
He was more and more extraordinary.
That's actually a lot of points that you can put in there. So this is either going to New Game Plus it, or it's longer than I thought. Oh, alright. Ooh, he got me. Yeah, that's not a great style effect, but alright. I'm thinking NG+. Yeah. It's feeling like it's an NG+ kind of game, right?
A legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Reynardo shuddered at what the emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the Black Harvest, the Black Sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk.
Because of all the doors we couldn't open. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of that shit. Unless we backtrack later. That's the thing that I'm confused about, is like, I'm wondering if there's going to be backtracking or not.
Whee!
Yeah, I don't like this. I also don't like the amount of time it goes between, like, stuff here with letting me upgrade. Here's the thing. I might be too harsh on this game because it might just be for a demographic that I'm not part of. It might be, like, that it's angled towards children, but it's just kind of a dark story for children. And that's why it's so simple. But I don't know that, right? So...
Reynardo's path was clear. Let the scientists ensure the Sky Ripper was safe to use, bring it to the rebel base, and then assault the Imperial fleet
there we
for the
go.
win.
Let's take a look at this. So we can't make the Void Blade yet. Or the water one. We're almost able to make the water one, though. We can make the Firestorm. And we can also make the Hero Sword stronger.
This burning sword from the south was terrific for barbecuing.
We also haven't
sausages
seen a sword
and
bench.
ravens.
And oh, never mind. Okay, so we do have swords that will have energy abilities. And that's what it means by activate sword. Alright, you know what? That's an aesthetically great sword. Like, that one's... but that's a really high quality looking sword. Alright, so we've got a HP regen sword.
His mother had never let him wave his sword around at
Wait a
home.
minute.
He guessed he was still compensating for that.
That's a penis joke. It has about the same effect in terms of, speed. So I'm going to assume there's not going to be much of a functional difference. Oh, I don't like that, though. Hey, how about we don't? Like, that'd be
Energy
really...
spheres. Easy to
that...
dodge, but boy, do they sting if you didn't pay
That
attention.
sucked. That was entirely hitboxes. I thought I was safe from that distance, but apparently your hitbox is pretty big. Alright, test it. Ooh, real bad. Alright, test it.
Feels so close to you.
So I don't see where the HP regen comes in unless it's an activated ability, but I guess it's probably an activated ability.
Ooh, Reynardo hated warlocks. The way they stayed back and lobbed pain and death from a distance. Cowards.
Avoid
Really
warlocks. Fire
dangerous,
spells will damage
effective
anyone
cowards.
near you once it explodes. Okay, well that's a non-issue. Okay, so I guess we're gonna test out the activate ability on like the next group of enemies to see if we can get HP back from that. Because we took some dumb hits. More fire essence. And now we're gonna get energies as well.
Reynardo had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop, but it would do.
Alright. Can't smashy. We gotta remember to try and smash everything that's possible.
Reynardo checked to make sure his sword was still working. Yep.
Because if it is, it gives us extra crown.
Reynardo was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
I didn't even get to interact with
The Sky
them.
Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are invisible strings that tie the universe together. If the Sky Ripper cut one, the hole would widen and widen until our whole existence fell into it.
Another toad sighed.
Irving still believes in string theory. At least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Reynardo how to find it in the first place. But
Okay, so more exposition
maybe
that's
he had to
happening in
give up on
reverse.
using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use.
Why would you do that? Why would you go to the base and not use the weapon? Maybe there is a way to use the super weapon without using it. I mean, yeah, there would be, and that's using it as like a bargaining chip, but if the guy's like insane and planning to bring a god back, whatever. Like, here's the thing. I kind of want this universe to die.
Reynardo was about to leave when he was stopped by one of the scientist toads.
There is something else you should know.
Why is he Kermit?
Rumors the Ravens are searching for an ancient artifact on a nearby desert island. There are legends of something called the Iblis Stone, a gem of great and evil power.
Where is this island? Asked Reynardo.
Yeah, sort of that way?
Said the toad, pointing vaguely west. The fleet was already there. There was nothing
This
Reynardo
moved
could do
so
about it.
fast.
For the moment. Well, he should have known he'd have to consult Calaveras again. The scientists at the observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon. Every day they delayed risked the exposure of the secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle.
Yeah, okay, this is sounding like it's gonna be not that long of a game.
Maybe it was the cold. But after a few steps, Reynardo's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help?
Unless it's just
Did
debating
Reynardo
me really
dare
hard.
use the Sky Ripper? Oh, he hated that he had chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies. Some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, okay, it wasn't all that much simpler, no. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least he was sure of.
So leveling up everything would be a pain in the ass as well as crafting everything just because of the amount that's required for some of these things. In other words, I do kind of want the Void Blade. Did I see something over there? I did not. That's interesting.
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
Parking meters? Like, these people know about parking meters? Alright, so now the goal is just to get a bunch of ore and see if we can make at least one other sword. Also, HP doesn't come back between chapters.
Shall we
which is
just agree to
surprising.
disagree? Said Reynardo. No?
Okay, so the HP regen is actually a passive ability. It has nothing to do with combat at all. It's just something you regain. Which is weird, but whatever. And then you only have so much energy that you can use anyway. Are the Lost Gods humans? That's the question, right? Okay, we're gonna change out swords. Oh, your energy is shared between swords.
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
Alright. I feel like we're making a mistake by going ahead, but we'll do it. Like, I feel like there's stuff back there that I could have gotten, but it's whatever. There's a water door slash ice door or whatever, so we could have used that
Ice
here.
walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
God, I hate that dialogue. It's like listening to what Dante's thinking in his head all the time, but like worse. At least if I ever want to feel good about myself instead of playing Devil May Cry, I
Really
can
ought to
just
put a
play
railing
this.
on this thing, he thought.
No, maybe this is just like the right way to go instead. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, they just tripped over each other. That's actually pretty good.
He tried to focus on
I don't know.
now.
The more I play
The
it, the
ravens
less I
seemed
hate it.
everywhere all the
It feels
time.
like this is a
Where
game
did
that
they
just at the
hatch
beginning
from?
I was really
Were there
about.
giant raven hatcheries
But I
somewhere,
think
or
it's just kind of
did they
like
have
Stockholm
families?
Syndrome. Like I'm committed at this
He
point.
didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks. Yeah, Calvaris would help. He would make Reynardo feel better about using the Sky Ripper. And then Reynardo wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again. Reynardo's paws were getting numb.
I wonder if I could have jumped off at any of
Calvaris
those.
really didn't want company, did he?
Or if those are just kind of there. I was really hoping that I could actually ignite those too. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to try out the fire sword.
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
Oh my god. Truly, this was a game developer. See, I'm trying not to push X on this because I want to keep that wall up. But I want to smash these things, and it's not liking that.
The rebels were counting on Reynardo. He hoped Calvaris knew what he was doing.
I don't. I hope that this world's universe ends. That'd be great. It would save me so much time. Like, if anything, I'm in line with the villain at this point. Also, yeah, this game is definitely going to be a backtracking or New Game Plus game, but I'm leaning on New Game Plus. I can't imagine backtracking. I just got an achievement for anger management. Okay. Like, we can't even unlock these. Which is weird. You think we'd be... I'm starting to think that maybe this is just a lot longer than I thought it was. Like, maybe it's just a lot longer. Or maybe there's 4 endings and you have to get each of them and those unlock these. Hello. You're the first NPC we've actually talked to.
Calvaris had never let him down.
Yeah, of course I can make it work better.
Oh no, it's Kermit
When
again.
Reynardo explained about the strings, Calvaris grew thoughtful.
Oh, strings, you say? Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 120 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Each time you use it... Okay, look, just don't use it ever.
All right, I guess. As he sailed away from the mountains, Reynardo could see clouds darkening.
Hey, so don't use the apocalypse gun.
No. Ships. Imperial ships, swarming thick as bees. This was it. The big battle. They could not afford
We're
to
gonna
lose
use
this
the
one.
apocalypse gun.
What if it did not go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he gamble the universe?
Yes.
On the other hand, what were the odds of rolling 21 6s in a row?
Well, if you're us playing Dungeons and Dragons, pretty good. We seem to screw up a lot.
The battle was not going spectacularly well. What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay, right? He wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
Hey, so don't do it. Everything's telling me not to do it, so you know we're going to do it. Watch this game be like fucking Undertale and it just tell you like, hey, guess what? You did terrible shit, now we hate you. Wrong sword. This is such a strange thing. Like, I can't get a read on this game. I can't tell if it's just hurried or
He wasn't
what.
that good. Yet.
Yet. It's like God of War. Ooh, bad.
Don't be shy.
God damn it. There. Once you start getting like a lot of shit happening on screen, it actually gets kind of hard to track those things. But apparently that was an awesome fight. Reverse psychologying you into doing. Exactly, though. Like, but is it reverse psychology if I'm aware of it?
Reynardo, smash!
Reynardo smash. Okay, so the thing I've learned is that this game gives you ample energy and HP, and I have no idea why. Unless it might make it so that way there's like a version that's got that missing from it. Because as it stands right now, there's just no reason.
Look, it's not personal, but you're so terrible.
Oof. Get out of here. Alright, that was a good fight. And let me guess there's gonna be health in these or something. If there's not, I'm gonna be pissed. Well, there's not, so I'm pissed. But there was ore. So, like, can I be mad? And the answer is yes, because I can be furious about anything that I damn well want to. I'm an
Maximum
adult.
capacity, 130 people.
What's happening? Why did everything get, like, was that me slowing down time there? Because that's pretty weird. Alright, the slowdown time there was more noticeable. Also, you only have until the end of the circle before it drops the combo, but it gives you usually a lot of enemies, so it seems to be
Someone
fine.
had told him the odds
Whatever.
didn't change just because you'd had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, though. And he always listened to his gut. On the other hand, 128 chances to win. but one of them would destroy the universe. Ooh, that seemed a bit serious. Maybe he
Oh
could
my
defeat the
God,
Emperor
stop.
without firing the Sky Ripper.
Stop.
Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you pretended you had a fizbin. That could work.
Stop telling me what to do, video game.
Hoped his hook didn't break.
There it is. Okay, so that creates like an AoE of fire? I'm still not 100% sure.
You rush. Oh.
Come back here, please. Thank you. The way that it rates your like style in this seems to be kind of almost arbitrary, because I've had like way worse fights where I've gotten like really good ratings. I do have to say I like this set piece though. I like the traveling between ships set piece. That's really good. That's very strong. So, like, of all the things so far, this one's good. Okay, that's a new enemy type that's decided to zoom in on. Shield grunts will block your attacks. Grab and throw another grunt into it. The shield will be knocked away. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck off. I'm trying to do combo. Wow, I hate video game because this camera is really not good. Like, I hate to say it, but like it's really messing with me. There we go. Okay, so they introduced a thing that's basically a combo disruptor by the merit that you have to fight it a certain specific way, which sucks on every possible front because as you can see there, it actually interrupts your ability to like do other shit. But it's still like whatever at the end of the day. And there we go, it said I had an awesome. Oh good. Look at how it's disrupting my camera.
Sky Ripper and let it warm up. He would bluff if he had to. Zenobia came out, flanked by a very
It's like a small
daunting
Death
platoon
Star.
of ravens. You won't actually use that, she said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had.
What
I
is
know
this
the odds.
dialogue?
Good, because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. They only go up if I use it a bunch more times. No, but
How is this still a
that's
running
not
gag?
how odds work. Didn't you pay attention in class? Now surrender, or I'll use it. Just once, he said. Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You have to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire, he said. Please? The Sky Ripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. Then he noticed there was a hole in the air.
I want to point out, it didn't actually offer me the choice on this, so it's just doing this on its own.
Wind was blowing into it.
I
widening
didn't
it.
get a
It
choice.
grew larger and even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror, as it poured into the ravenous hole. Ah, 1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Reynardo, And then everything fell into the hole and was gone.
We got the bad end.
That was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar.
Okay, so news story completed. Story number
It was still
21. The
burning.
Sky Rover's Guide to the
He'd
Galaxy.
fled burning
God
Ubar years
damn
ago,
it.
hadn't he? And now he was back
Guide,
there.
Hitchhiker's Guide, really?
Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned
And a reward of
something.
5 fire
The
essence.
core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Okay. New truth revealed. There it is. So that's what allows us to unlock skills too. So we did get it right when we said that it was a new game plus type of game, but what we didn't count on was that the theory that it's like Nier, where you need to get specific endings, actually is right. The only way to progress the game is to get endings. So it is technically a short game. But not inherently. So there's 21 of these at least. Hate that. Yeah, right? At least Nier has the courtesy to just do 5. There's a rabbit truth, there's a cat truth, there's an eye truth, and there's the Skyripper truth. And so we know the Skyripper truth. And then I guess that the final ending is when you've achieved all of these endings that are like the major plot points. So there's at least 4 canon ones and a 5th one, so it's Nier, actually.
He'd made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice.
Like, let's roll again.
The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning.
But does he keep his
The
shit?
clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Skyripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong.
And here we can see that has a
He was
Skyripper
sure
logo
he
down
could
near the
figure out
bottom.
how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Skyripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Reynardo. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing.
Okay.
Lapino was no game changer, but could Reynardo really leave an
We need
old
to
friend
pause
the
for a second
Ravens?
here. So it's asking me the original 2, but then it's created a 3rd new option. So it's changing the rules as it goes. Where it was originally presenting 2 options every time, it's now adding a 3rd element, which increases the potential for options and changes in story. But that makes it not good. This game. Okay. We're gonna go friend route this
Lapino.
time.
Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse.
I want to point out there are Pegasus in this
Lapino
world.
had apparently managed to confuse the
A
judge
world
by
full of animal
arguing
people?
that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty.
Also, yes, we keep our stuff, so there we go.
Had everybody fled the Ravens?
So, in other words, there's
I
an
need more
impetus to go
materials,
back and
thought
play
Reynardo.
through ones you are already familiar with, because then you can get more rewards. You can get big rewards if you do that. Like, for instance, I can upgrade Firestorm again, but we're not going to do that because we already have a level 1 Firestorm, so we can already access those doors. Right now, we need to focus on getting an extra water essence so we can make that. The new options are bad because this game doesn't need them. Like, when... I know it sounds stupid, but it's just like... When your game's entire merit is... replay value is built into it by making you have to backtrack through it repeatedly. But that's it. That's all there is to it, is just backtracking or choosing different options. It just feels kind of bland. Because I felt like my actions didn't really have a whole lot of weight. I just kind of picked option 1 or option 2.
The Ravens had taken the town.
And then option 1 or
Reynardo had
option
seen
2
villages emptied like
took me
this.
to an area
All
where I
the
got
people
a
taken
vague
away
amount
to
of
be
dialogue
sacrificed to
about
the
it.
Emperor's secret rituals.
And
Reynardo hoped the people
that
were
was
just
it.
hiding.
And the end of it was the world ended, but that had no consequences because you just got sent back in time. So nothing matters, your choices don't matter. Just play the game and get the ending, basically.
Time to turn to what he knew best.
Look at that, we actually finally opened up a different path.
What was behind that door? Reynardo's nose told him there was treasure there. They must have forgotten it in a hurry. Surely they wouldn't mind if he helped himself to it.
Oh, big
Or
treasure chest though,
he
that's
wouldn't
nice.
even know.
It's like if... What? Oh, hey, we found a gem, actually. That's really cool. And we got that, that water essence. So there we go. Next time we find a work table, we can... A work table? Work table. We can mess with that and get another sword.
Reynardo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
Okay, so we do have options opened up before us here. These two are independent of each other. Increases maximum stamina. Could be good. Impale your enemy on your sword when you grab him to cause damage. Seems really good. Slow down time after a successful attack until your next action. Take a breather playing your move. Tactical mode of combat, like a true master. What does that mean? Oh, it's after an attack now, too. So if I swing, time slows down as well. True sword fu. Attack enemies. I almost said activate enemies. Attack enemies at a distance. Auto activates when reaching a certain combo threshold. So it's like Zelda when you have like max HP, you start swinging out lasers. Dash through enemies. Target an enemy with dash to move through him. Cause damage. Does not work on shield-wielding enemies. Shield hooking. Hooking a shield-wielding enemy will rip away the shield. Well, like, that's just immediate.
Well,
That just... That nullifies the stupid ability to have to throw people into shields. Like, why would you... Why would you even put that in as a mechanic unless you're gonna commit? And then they didn't commit. So it's whatever. I haven't really needed to increase maximum HP, but... I think I'm gonna... I kinda wanna go for movement speed just to get through things faster. But I kind of like the ability to dash through people as well as to combo thresh. We're gonna combo threshold. We're gonna see if it's worth the time, basically. Oh shit. Look at that. Alright. Well, that completely trivializes an entire enemy type, so that's hilarious. That guy hit me through an object. that is pretty not great. As things go, the ability to just clip like that and ruin a combo is kind of a big bummer.
Ravens were landing everywhere.
But I'm not gonna
The
criticize it
advance
too
guard.
bad.
He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to?
And I'm locked out from going back again. So that's the other complaint that I have about this game, is it presents you options without acknowledging that it's going to lock you out, and then it locks you out really, really hard. And
Sometimes
it
Reynardo
doesn't
really
feel
hated
great.
Inanimate objects.
Like, I hate being locked out of, like, potential shit in general. And then when you tell me, like, well, we did that for no reason, really, other than we didn't want you to have the ability to backtrack, because clearly we want you to play the game more times. Don't feel too good, to be honest. Got another wind essence, though. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I don't have any more points. No, I don't. The infrequency between upgrade points is super weird to me. God. God. Oh my god. Dash stuff fucking ruins me sometimes. Like, I go to dash and it's just like, no, you can't. Why? Because you can't. But apparently that's still great style. Getting completely bodied for like a huge segment is apparently completely fine. Man, this oh, it's turned into a creepy
Run
graveyard.
down his back. Or possibly a flea.
This is not what I expected when I boot up. And again, we have another altar to use, but we can't level up. They provide us with these so frequently comparative to the workshops. I can really start to game that system a little
Ready
bit,
to
though.
blossom within him.
Is it gonna let me go back? It's gonna let me go back. Hey, that's actually nice. Thanks for letting me go back and upgrade a thing that you should be letting me do anyway. I'm gonna do dash through enemies for sure, though. I want to be able to manipulate that. I want to be able to dash through people and do damage. That's just an objectively good power to start with. Like, as a pretty much strictly melee powered person, and yeah, these are almost entirely just for aesthetic purposes, because they don't really do anything in terms of noticeable damage difference or anything.
Dirty and bloody, Reynardo finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Reynardo recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia.
Is that
We
racist?
Capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter. That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Something romance options, something, who cares? We're doing it because it's a friendship
Zenobia
route.
wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Reynardo's best friend.
Yeah,
in
Sword Food,
Food
that's
school.
a great name.
And you're still mad for her. The rabbit reminded him.
Oh no,
They'd
it is
been
romance.
Close. She'd told him things no one else knew. But she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the Master Spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lapino. Taking her would change the game, all right. The city was already under Zenobia's control.
There's
They had to admire her
purple
efficiency.
door.
Reynardo shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them?
No,
But
he
this
can't.
was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
This-
Reynardo had a lot of crafting materials.
This
All
game
he
has
needed was a
firmly
crafting
taught me
bench.
that it does not want me to be mean. It does not like when I am mean. Because when I got a death machine, it like told me to fuck off. Is the Emperor of the Ravens not a raven? No, he's the general emperor of like every species. He just happens to have ravens loyal to him. It seems to be that the animals are all like independent races of people that just kind of coexist, I guess. Otherwise, how's his daughter a cat? Yeah, no, like I thought he was a frog, to be honest. Oh, these boys are back. I could be wrong. It could have been that the other guy was a frog. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, wait for it. Ooh, boy. There we go. Jeez, I hate that. That it doesn't always grab them, like, in the
Reynardo
right way, and
hated
then it doesn't always
gobblers.
dodge,
It
or I
freaked him
guess
out.
technically rush into them. Wow, okay, so there's actually just really no risk as long as you just cut them. I don't know if I like that. Like, again, it just feels like the weight of things is being kind of
So,
step-by-step
What's
removed.
this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lapino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lapino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Reynardo.
What? What do we have to lose, I guess?
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lapino as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
He's gonna die.
Hey! Hey, a workbench! He could try out his new bling.
Alright, so we're gonna get a water one. And then we're gonna look at this gem thing. What do we have? We have a shield breaker. Your hits cause shield grunts to drop their shield. So now we just have 2 ways to get around that problem. So that just completely nullifies itself entirely. Such is the way of things, I suppose. Oh, we're locked out! Oh my god! Give me a new ability just in time to lock me out. I swear, this game, holy shit. Like, this is what I'm meaning by the having new choices is a bad thing. Because you're already just making me replay the game way too much as it is. See, like, that's what I'm meaning by I don't understand the style system in this. That was considered great, but I've done way sloppier and have gotten much better.
Reynardo felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly
It's
wrong.
gonna go horribly wrong.
But against all odds, Pino's idiotic plan worked.
No, it worked. It
Zenobia's
worked off
ravens
camera,
ran off
though.
after the geese,
Okay, never
The
mind.
net dropped, and Reynardo jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat.
I
Reynardo,
can't believe that
she
worked.
said, "Are those new scars? They look good on you. You never returned my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two." said
Oh,
Regina.
get a
But
room,
the
this
sleep was coming on
dialogue.
fast.
And
So they
then
put
lock it
Zenobia
up
on the
there
Farfair
and never let
and took
people
her
hear it
east
again.
Over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School. From his life. Without even saying goodbye. Without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah. Lepida was
Adopted
right,
daughter.
Reynardo thought reluctantly. She knows things.
So he might be a
She
frog after
recognized
all.
his look. "You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you?" she said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Reynardo saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. "Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost," yelled Pino. "You have to catch her."
So, like, animals just maintain qualities of themselves in this world. This is so strange. Oh, we're back
Cats
here
can run
again.
faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
Okay.
Building these platforms was so expensive, they'd run out of budget for guardrails.
That's like the second time that they've mentioned guardrails. See, like, I have this striking feeling that no matter what I do, it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Like, she's either going to get away or she's going to join us regardless, I feel. And I have a feeling that no matter which option I picked, going forward back there, it would have ended up basically the same. Like, I have no qualifications as to say this, but
He used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again?
that's interesting. So we'll come back to that. All right, what's this way? Also, welcome back to the asset reuse hellscape, where we reuse assets. Not that that's a bad thing, but just like really weird. That was strange.
Ravens didn't smell any better dead, Reynardo thought.
Okay, we got another one. Physical resistance. So I'm guessing that's a damage down. wind essence and water essence. So sometimes we're just going to encounter special chests in areas that otherwise would have been locked off to us. At school, we learn of Gospel, the Transcendent Emperor. Wow, it's just kind of like, it's kind of like somebody made like furry 40K meets like just a bunch of trash. He would banish the evil old gods and grant us the gift of time, but could one man, divine as he may be, it also kind of reminds me of Divinity, create something as intricate as time. I have my own theory. I believe that time is a symptom rather than a gift. I am convinced that on a cosmic scale there's a pendulum between order and chaos. The Transcendent Emperor ended chaos and started the age we live in. Age of cause and effect, the fact and logic. Time is merely a tapestry upon which these laws manifest themselves. It is the foundation of the Order's companion, entropy. But in the age of chaos, when the old gods reign, perception carries more weight than facts, emotions can shape the world, and time ceases to exist. So the warp. They're describing the warp in the materium. The age of order is ending. I am merely helping it. The inevitable entropy has been broken. Fate has been breached. The end of time is coming, and I shall embrace it. Emperor Isengrim 3, Secret Journal. Wonderful. Anything I can grapple onto over there? No. So yeah, that's what it is. The Emperor is all about chaos. And the previous Emperor was all about order. Next I'm gonna start seeing writings about Slanesh. The destruction of the Eldar gods. You'll note that all of the mandatory areas have the same sort of door, which is the classic one. Alright, that was actually pretty nifty. Alright, we're actually starting to get combo, but here's the problem. Combo is still just mash button at different speeds and when enemies are at different range. And so, while it's a bit more intricate, it's still just one button spam, press combo in direction, and that's kind of it. But again, I think I might be judging this game too harshly. I think that this game might be a game for children. Babby's first Grimdark. I gotta check the ESRB rating on this game.
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his.
Of course there was.
There had to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
I mean, an energy thing just popped out of it. I'd say it's useful. Gems. What's our other one here? Physical resistance. Increased resistance to physical damage by 20%. Yeah. So there we go. Wish I could get over there. That's taunting me. Oh, that's new. Ew. Watch out for explosive ravens. When hit or thrown, they will explode after a few seconds. Use them to your advantage. Okay. Yeah, see, the fact that that was considered awesome is
Reynardo
a bit
reached the
weird. There
outpost.
wasn't a whole lot of
The
combo.
Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. I'm enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans, all the way back to the Farfarer. Lapino nagged Reynardo about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebels' secret base. Reynardo didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the friendship playthrough, so we're gonna do the
As
friendship.
they pulled away from the Nexus, Reynardo could see the fear in Zenobia's eyes. I can't take her to those creatures at the base, he whispered to Lapino. Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me, she'll turn. And he turned the wheel. The hell you will! Shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Reynardo was falling.
Well, so much for the friendship playthrough.
When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated? She demanded. Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you. But strangely, she didn't. As Reynardo set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens.
Okay, so is she gonna follow me or no? Oh, I guess she's gonna like hang back just far enough that no enemies actually get to fight her. Or they're just not going to animate her moving because that would involve having to
What
create
was
another
really fun
method of AI.
was hooking yourself onto a moving ship.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. That's too much money. Oh no, it's
There
the
were
asset
stickers
reuse
all over the
hellscape
platform
again.
for reading
Just a
all
different
the
flavor.
with pictures and addresses and everything.
Well, alright.
As
The
Reynardo
combat
stopped
report
to
is
sniff the wind,
strange. Oh,
Zenobia
yeah, no,
came up,
there she is.
Still mad. Did you really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure. That was exactly my plan.
It
Then
was exactly
why
his
aren't
plan.
you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scobel ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
How does he have that good of smell? Like, I get that they're all animals, but it's just really weird that they have this, like, sense of smell to them. Also, like, that is still aesthetically the best weapon. Like, the fire one doesn't really look that great. None of them look that great.
Oh, good! I need a new rug for my nest, said the lead raven.
Ooh. That was a good hit, that one down. Alright. Again, it seems just really random what they consider to be what rating.
Couldn't they have put in an elevator? Or a giant eagle? Or something?
Kind of wish that didn't have to be purple. But oh well, we've decided to take this route. Whether or not that was the right route, that's left to be seen. Get more ore, though. And nothing back there, it seems. That was weird. Yeah, can you come over here, please? Thank you.
I wish that somebody had been watching.
See, stuff like that getting great is what makes me feel like it's a really inconsistent method of judgment. Because, like, I thought that was really good, but apparently that was only considered to be great and not awesome.
It was definitely easier to fight inanimate objects.
I've kind of been skipping over smashing everything, but to be honest, like, the fact that we only get, like, one out of them every now and then is really... it's hampering my desire to go smashy on everything.
Reynardo wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he was regretting his suspicions.
Okay. Can I get over there, or did I fuck that up?
Sure enough,
I can't tell
the
what I need to
Farfarer
do.
had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. And look, look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. And we have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless. Run away with me,
duties.
said Reynardo, and he realized he meant it.
Yeah.
Just like that, she demanded. I will, if you will. So, she kissed him.
Oh
It
no.
was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Reynardo felt
romance option.
light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino, I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell
You weren't wrong
deep
about furry shit,
into the abyss.
right?
She looked away, wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds.
Okay. Okay, we're back to asset reuse hell.
Reynardo picked himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to
So
get
this
to my
went from the
private
friend
ship, he said.
playthrough to the fuck playthrough.
Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he?
We can
following
only
his
level up
heart.
that one. I don't really want to level up
That's what
that
it
one. I
means
want to
to be
make
a
the
hero.
Void Blade.
You had to follow your heart.
But it's going to take some more resources. It seems it really, really doesn't like you getting the Void Blade. Because that's the one that it's been giving me the least resources for. So it's making me really wonder what its ability is going to be all about. Or maybe if it's going to unlock, like, some really crazy shit. Like over there, which is something that I would love to unlock, but I can't because I don't have the Void Blade. Okay, level up. Yeah, we'll just put another point into it.
Always wanted to do that.
Yeah, whatever dialogue. We'll just put another point into that. Let's see if there's other stuff over here again. Okay, so it rewards you with the same chests if you do go back through again. So you can totally just go back through over and over and over again and farm things. Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I hate those guys. Thanks for the, like, 46, though. See, a 46 is only rated as a great, but the other time I did, like, and I got, like, an awesome. I don't understand the rating system in this. Like, at least in DMC, you get, like, letter grading. And it's based on, like, things that they clearly quantify for you. But in this, it's just, it's so irrelevant, too, especially because it's just a button press. It's a singular button press and some angular tilts.
Reynardo wanted one for his house.
It's just, it's so strange. It's really weird to me, just the way that this is handling everything, basically. I would love to get some more Void stuff, too, by the way. But I really doubt that it's coming.
I think this is yours, said Reynardo. But he couldn't hear his enemies answer.
Acceptable. That's the lowest that I've gotten there. At least in a while. And that's a weird one to get acceptable on. Because, like, that wasn't that bad either. Ooh! Okay. I better do really bad there because I did not expect that to be a jump into action. I thought that was going to be a pull like this. But it didn't treat it that way. But that's a great, despite taking literally half my HP worth of damage. You can see my confusion. It doesn't track. Nothing in this makes sense. Especially like the Nier Automata style storyline. And the asset reuse hellscape. Wow, did that guy blow up on me? I've never had one of them do that before. I guess maybe a second impact to them might cause it, but they didn't warn me about that.
Don't go away.
Yeah, and again, it marks me as great, despite literally being exploded. One of these days I'll have an understanding. Oh god, I'm gonna get hit there because I'm being lazy and not paying attention.
Paused to catch their breath. It was strange to be so close to her. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
That can't be aerodynamic to have your ship strapped to another ship. Like, that's gotta be screwing whoever's got that attached to it, right? Like, they just hate that person. I'm really curious how she's keeping up. God, what? I'm dead. I'm dead because the game actually didn't obey its own mechanics. I'm furious. You have died. Restart from checkpoint. Okay, sure. So, reason I'm furious. Game has an ability that lets you teleport through other enemies. I used that and it stopped me from movement. So I was actually physically blocked despite having a skill specifically to actually go through enemies. Which, there we just saw demonstrated. And there we've seen again. So, sure, I guess, whatever. Yeah, and like, look, we got perfect the next time through. How stupid.
Reynardo hoped his mother wasn't watching.
I don't even know why he'd be worried about mother. It's not like he's Dante. Hey Red, you've come in at a terrible time. We're in the asset reuse hellscape that is the ending of this game again. And I still have no idea what contributes to being a great or awesome skill set. It just seems completely arbitrary.
You wish there were more pylons you could use the hook on. Really needed to construct additional pylons.
Really needed to construct additional pylons. They had to squeeze to get another joke in there. Jokes are what's hot? Yeah, I'd wager they are. Can I get over there? The answer is no.
Good thing Reynardo didn't have vertigo.
Oh, okay, good. They've introduced a new enemy type. Oh, apparently I'm still swinging in that instance. Enchanters buff and heal enemies, buff ravens or great adventures. Okay. Then we won't deal with them. See, look at how easy it was to not deal with them.
As they reached her ship, Reynardo suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see
Oh,
a
did she shoot me?
crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
I was going to lead the Empire to our secret base,
Oh.
said Lapino. But no, you had to screw up my plan because
Oh.
you still got a thing for her.
Okay, friend root
Reynardo
was actually
stared
friend
at
is a
Zenobia.
dick.
The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head.
Am I gonna die?
And her
Again?
paws felt very soft and warm. Reynardo stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it?
Yeah,
Had he
so
really died?
we died again.
It felt so real, not like a dream at all.
Oh, this game.
And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But He had made different choices, and he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought.
Okay, so
But these were destinies that he did not
friend
have to
root
fulfill.
is that the
He'd
rabbit
learned
is a traitor.
Another true thing. Lapino was a traitor. Reynardo had suspected there was something wrong with the mad rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Okay. Well, tier 3 skills unlocked. There is 24 different endings to this. There are these different options, and then there's the 5th final thing. Holy fucking shit. This is a lot.
That meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right?
This is too much.
Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble.
So here's the thing. I'm not
Ravens were
gonna
scouting for the
play
secret
much more
rebel
of this
base.
tonight.
They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced.
But we're gonna
Reynardo
see
knew
what the
that
new
using it could go catastrophically
shit
wrong.
is. Yeah, it turns out my
But he
friend
was sure
shot
he
me in
could
the
figure
stomach
out
and I
how to
died.
use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden?
No, we
Someone
died
better get it
again.
before he does, thought Reynardo. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing.
It turns out
Of course,
Lapino was a dickhead and he
Reynardo
shot
had
me in the
pretty
stomach with a
strong
crossbow.
suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion.
You can see that
Could
because I have the
Reynardo
Lapino
really
symbol
leave an
there.
old friend to the Ravens?
And then we can like view stories here and see. Yeah. So we're that's rough, buddy. Bad end, right? We're gonna take the temple option.
Desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It sounded
We're not really
ominous.
gonna play
Sounded
anything.
powerful.
We're just going to
If the Emperor was searching for it,
like kind of
it must be
venture
dangerous.
in for a minute and,
so,
then probably quit out a
Reynardo went
little bit
ostrich
after.
hunting.
Tonight's gonna be a short stream, but
Every
it's also
child
just like a
could sing
nightmare.
verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Dude, I just want to get the 4th sword. That's all I want right now.
You know, ore is pretty heavy to carry. You know what's not? A new sword.
Yeah, thanks. I would love a new sword. You know what I would need to do that? I'd need some more crafting materials. None of which you're giving me, so that's perfect. Yeah, because I'm not going to have enough. Yeah, no, it's just like, hey, you can upgrade your other shit.
That is a very cool sword, thought Reynardo. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
Oh. You're just a kid and life is a nightmare. I'm just a fox and the stream is a nightmare. See, I don't like that. I just got penalized for throwing a dude into another dude. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was freaky. Surprised there hasn't been a what the fox age joke. I mean, it might come. We don't know.
They were still searching for a way in. Good. Then he hadn't come too late.
Like, there really could be one, and we just don't know. Okay, cool. We've unlocked more stuff. Inflict damage on hook enemies. Alright, that's nice. Doesn't unlock enough there. We need 3 of 3. Can dash through shield-wielding enemies. Okay, time mastery. Freeze time for everyone but Reynardo when countering an attack at the last second. Last few seconds. Actually, Bayonetta. Actually, Bayonetta. Kick and throw distance are increased. Increase maximum sword energy. Like, a lot of this is just whatever.
That come in handy in a pinch.
Like, I don't really have anything that I think is immediately necessary or helpful. Oh my god, this is actually so many. Alright, that got weird. That was like an actually crazy amount of enemies.
Smashing things was fun.
Yep. The kind of dialogue we need right now. Alright, so we only need 4 more of wind essences to actually get the last sword. Speaking of games with multiple endings and a narrator, find the stone. You've been chosen by this kernel mission. Blah, 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 blah. Follow the instructions to the letter. Always travel in pairs. Do not look at the engravings on the wall. Do not lose the hermetic box. Find the stone immediately place in the box and seal the box. Voice in your head. Ignore it. Remember the temple is haunted. Ignore the voice in your head. Remember ghosts. Yeah, don't listen to the spirits of the warp. Might get Stanley Parable on console because new endings. It's a fun game. I didn't really care about the Stanley Parable.
He felt like Tarzan.
I walked right into that. No wind, though. Yeah, I didn't think there was anything over here. Don't think I own it on PC. Is the extra stuff of like the ending is going to come to PC or? Oh my god, I detonated the guy on myself. I'm mad. I'm mad.
That was fun. Let's do this again sometime.
The fact that that still said that that's great is just enraging. Okay. I have found my biggest problem with this game, and it's that the guys that you are fighting who explode on your dash through ability because it counts as damage, which, like, is a thing that you can't really control. But aside from that, like, the combat's really simple. But that one particular thing is just annoying the hell out of me. I did not expect to find these all here.
Not everyone knew how to use magical gems.
Energy on kill is nice.
Not everyone had magical gem gauntlets like he did.
3% energy. That's... I don't even really use the energy that much except for the heal energy. And for swords, I only have... Yeah, so, like, I'm not going to do that. This fox is furry. No, this fox is furry Thanos? Not quite, no. He just has a bracelet that allows him to use gems. He doesn't have a glove. The glove is an important part of being Thanos. It needs to be a glove. Okay, so I am locked off. It's a gauntlet, very different. No, the Infinity Glove is the Infinity Glove. Wow, that was really bad.
Oops. Thought Reynardo.
Alright, well at least now I can just, like, heal myself by killing. That's nice. That's whatever. What's Thanos' persona? Probably
Obviously, the temple
an
builders
alien?
knew how to deal with two.
He's already a furry? It's just a little known fact. Oh, I don't like this. By far the most useful sword thing has been the heal.
There was a sign. Take the goat across first.
Alright. Wow, I hate this. Thanos doesn't have fur, but that doesn't mean that he's not a furry. Xenomorphs don't have fur, but they're considered to be things that furries like.
Of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up.
Is it possible for me to, like, quit out without losing progress? Oh yeah, that thing's not evil.
It was the stone. Eager.
Kill the
thirsty.
Emperor's daughter, I will make you Emperor.
That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and opposing.
Oh good,
witch,
evil stone. Yeah.
But they had been close once.
Again, the voices of
And
the warp.
Reynardo
They
wasn't
speak to
sure
me.
He really wanted to be Emperor. Why not capture the core of Skyripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. It's the core, said the stone anxiously.
You should listen to it? Yeah. Blood and death for Iblis.
Listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
Okay, we're back to the asset reuse hellscape.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Reynardo had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead
Oh,
ravens
shit.
below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent emperor? Was it the future?
Dude, I have an aura of just pure fart gas around me now.
He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood.
All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
A completely normal day. Current objective, feed your girlfriend to the stone.
Well, they really needed to redecorate anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I missed out on a chest there. That would have been annoying. There it is.
Once you try it, you're hooked.
God, I... Puns.
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Reynardo. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls.
Jesus Christ. Okay, it's picking up.
Take the power. The stone told him.
See, this is why I can't get a read on what this is. It's really evil to feed people to a stone that's also evil. Yeah, like, we're banking on just full chaos.
Reynardo wondered what he could make with it.
Yo, we can do it, my dudes. We have the Void Blade. Increases movement speed and attack speed, energy cost. Well, I mean, if we're going full evil, we might as well go full evil, right? Use the fart gas sword. Except for when we have to open doors.
Hey, I'm a firefox, thought Reynardo.
Also, can we talk about Firefox? Well, that hurt. But we're fine.
That ought to be enough for a proper
Critical
sword,
chance. Nice. I really don't know if like a level 1 sword and a level 2 sword have a lot of difference in terms of damage, and that's like my biggest problem with this. Firefox, yeah. But now we can open purple doors. So, hey, that's nice. Actually, hold on. Okay, cool. So the trail that goes behind you is actually based off of
He
your
couldn't
sword.
do worse with Zenobia
Upgrade and
than
see.
he
I
did
have a
with
level 2 sword. I can't tell the difference. How long is each run of this?
The
I've been playing for like,
mysterious
what,
sword from the
an
east
hour
made
and a
you so
half, and I've
fast
completed
you'd
2
catch a
endings?
fly with your chopsticks. If that's what you really wanted.
Sup? I didn't expect that. Hey, nice. Very good.
The right jewel could
Attack
really
speed.
give you an edge. The wrong, well, it still looked pretty, didn't it?
Alright, attack speed up is definitely going on, so is crit. Because in my experience, when you pair attack speed with crit, that's just... Oh. Whoa! Okay, so they actually can get some good shots off, it turns out. The caveat is that you have to be a reasonable distance, because if you're not, you can just cut them.
Hey, how do you tell if someone's far away or just really small?
I hate this. Alright, that's back where we came, so. Here's the thing. I've been shitting on this game a lot. It's not actually that bad. And, like, I kind of do like a lot of the story elements, but it's just that, like, it's so disconnected is the best way to put it. I can't go up there, can I? No. This rubble didn't exist in the last run-through, so that's trying to make me go back and do that again.
Zenobia was waiting for Reynardo. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
It's not, though.
Are you here to surrender?
She seemed as cocksure as he felt.
This game
She
seems
didn't
fine,
know
it's
he had
just
the
like,
stone.
there's so
And
much
I missed
nothing
you
at
too,
the same
love.
time. And, like, the jokes are
Chuckle.
just terrible.
She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
I think, honestly, the worst part is just the dialogue. The dialogue is just really, really bad.
Ooh, what's there?
That was less than good. I am gonna kill myself doing that way more than I should. Just like getting hit by explodey boys who I don't realize that I've procced. Because they don't really have like a really good notice of that unless you let them fall over. So if you accidentally hit one a second time, it just pops you. As you read this letter, you were locked in your chambers, ready to spend your last night before, well, you know, I would not apologize. I know you are too proud to forgive me. I also know you won't resist reading through Kaz, much as I have tried to educate you like a proper toad. I swear to you, and leaving, I did not know this plan. I adopted you. You are a special little kitten. Oh my god, the backstory. Ultimately served the greater good. Shassel Kais, reporting for duty. Want the power, I want it all. So I was content, peace for eternity. Even if you hate me now, you can still respect that. You have to, blah 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 blah. I miss you for eternity. Tomorrow, try not to make a scene. Everyone will be watching still with love. Jesus Christ.
There was blood on this one,
Physical resistance level
so
2.
it hadn't saved its owner.
Alright. That seemed to have, like, slowed the frame rate a little bit. You know what, we're getting hurt enough now that I think that buying HP is actually, like, not a terrible idea. Oh boy. One day I'll understand how this game works. And not get hit every now and then. But I guess you gotta get hit every now and then. Oh my god, wait. Wait. Look at that. Look at that. That's brutal, actually. We're not gonna upgrade sword and gems yet. We're being stubborn about it. Because I wanna I want to see, like, if there's any real difference
Finally,
between
Reynardo caught up to
how
her.
things
He
feel
had never seen her
through
scared
this
before. At school,
and when it
she'd
gets
been a
harder.
determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem?
Yes.
If he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
Feed her to the
Of
stone.
his wrist,
Blood for the
he
blood
slashed
god.
Zenobia's throat. Her
Damn!
eyes widened even more. And then the light went out of them.
See, this is what I mean.
Reynardo
Like,
felt
this game feels like it's a game for children and how simple it is, but then it does this.
Dam. Exalted the Iblis stone.
Tasty.
Reynardo returns to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly. It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done.
And we're back to asset reuse hell again.
The Nexus was beautiful. He'd never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black
We're on
feathers.
ecstasy now.
Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there.
Okay, I'm actually digging this evil path a lot.
Sometimes, at home, he'd wave his sword around for hours.
Like, this is by far the most interesting. Because the dialogue has just taken such an awkward turn. Like, it used to be like, do you wish to do this, but perhaps this might be a better decision ethically and morally. You know that this isn't the right choice. Are you still going to do it? And now it's just like, yeah, he can sense,
no
like,
sense
the
collecting more
darkness in the
materials.
wind.
It was time to make something pointy.
Alright, void door, lead me home. This is like the Hat in Time,
Bridges and stairs.
looking like a kid's game, and then there's levels with, like, hanging corpses. Yeah, exactly. I thought a Hat in Time was a kid's game. I didn't know there was hanging corpses. Are you kidding me? I think I own that game. I gotta go look at that now. Oh, damn.
Beat Reynardo at hot potato.
And then we get those lines. This game started with a kid disintegrating. It did start with a kid disintegrating, but it didn't exactly do it graphically. Like, he just kind of turned to dust. Like, he just sort of quietly turned to dust. Sometimes kids get dusted. Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking of is like children's shows have people getting turned to dust all the time. That's not that violent. It's when it says they slit her throat.
What was he doing here? Reynardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old buddy! Please don't kill me!
We're gonna kill
Why
you.
would I kill you? Asked Reynardo, although he had been thinking about it.
See, that's great.
You've become... no, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep? I suppose you won't.
Yeah!
And poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Oh, damn it.
Okay, it ruined it. They made it a Simpsons joke. He was a traitor anyway. Not wrong.
He'd go to the outpost, use their far speaker, tell the Emperor what he'd done, and then he'd go to the secret rebel base. Let them know he was ready to lead them to victory.
All right.
People had laughed at the government workbench placement program, but
At the
could see the
government
benefits
workbench
everywhere.
placement program. Let's talk about that. It's gonna go to the base and everyone is going to be dead or gone. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna keep shield breaker because we have to, basically. Oh, it just auto levels them up when you pick them up. I thought they were gonna be like differing things, but they're not. We're not really needing energy on kill, so let's test this.
Truth was, Reynardo really liked the sound his sword made in the air.
That's not 10% faster. That's much higher than 10%. Alright, we'll upgrade Firestorm just for the sake of it. It doesn't look that much cooler. Like, this is still the coolest sword that we've gotten. So... meh. Like, they probably do more damage. But it just, like, I can't tell. Like, honestly, it just doesn't seem to actually matter. Like, I can't really get a read on the strength of things. I guess it's stronger, but eh. Got another awesome though.
Reynardo rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the far speaker toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Yes! Applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his far speaker, wouldn't he? Who are you?
Have fun being
Asked
evil?
a distant
Yeah, I
voice
will.
that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains. urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino.
Time to fight. Listen to the distant voices. Time to fight.
Reynardo called the rebel council to let them know to gather their forces. Then he killed a far speaker toad. Why? Oh, because to make sure his sword was sharp. Oh no, that's awful. So no one else could use it. Yes, that's it. Then he set off for the ruins and the secret rebel base.
Boreas Discoverer. Alright. Oh, that's a new
Ruins were
area.
crawling with ravens. Probably looking for the secret base, Reynardo thought. But then
We're
he
not in an
realized
asset reuse
they're
hellscape.
probably looking for me. They must be very scared of me. Well, here I am. You are the honest warrior, whispered the Iblastone. And he had to agree with it, for once. Who was as good as Reynardo?
Man, we're really going crazy. We're so evil that we put Red to sleep.
There was an inscription. No spitting.
Humor, man. Just doesn't get any better than this. Oh, there's a lot of pathways. I don't like that.
Don't look down, he thought.
Okay, so open up that. Pop over here. What's in there? Go back over here. And what's in here? Or over here, I guess. Oh, well,
Where did that go to?
we're just gonna hang out. Treasure Hunter level 1. I'll give you a hint as to what that does. Oh, okay, so they all just kind of go the same route at the end of the day.
Sorry, mustache, Lord Reynardo.
Well, that attack speed certainly is making it go a little bit faster. Also, I got locked in, so I missed out on something up there.
Come to think of it, Reynardo thought as he put
Okay,
down
so you
another
can't
raven.
actually get them from the
Why
front.
shouldn't I be emperor? How did anybody get to be emperor anyway? By making war. I mean, not counting the transcendent emperor. Obviously,
God
had banished
damn
the
it.
Asgardians and started time. Yes, he should be emperor. He would make a great emperor. Right, Stone?
Right, boss. It's hell on my knees, boss.
2 eyes good. 1 eye dead.
Excuse me, please. Thank you. Big boss, yeah. Greatest soldier in the world. Big boss. Okay, so this is a Dark Souls level.
So he was close to the rebel base. He was on fire. So far, so good.
Oh my god, I'm pissed.
Get over here!
Wow, I haven't heard that one in a while. Wait, is there one buffing them? Oh man, I'm going all over the place. $60 some odd. Holy shit.
Could be the new aerobics train.
How is that a great?
All right.
How is an 80 some odd a great? I don't get it. That doesn't... I don't get it. That's not an awesome?
Reynardo strode into the council. Let's do this thing. Let's make me emperor. They looked confused and nervous. Ah, had he mentioned the emperor thing? Yeah, he meant to bring that up later. I mean, let's go win this rebellion. He waved his sword around encouragingly. They ran. Cowards. He'd stop them. He cut down a few to inspire the others.
Cowards. They came back.
There was no one to cut down. Well then, he'd have to attack the fleet alone. More for me, he said. Unless it was the stone that said it. Traitors.
This is
Traitors, all of them.
actually turning
They'd
into some
run
40k
rather than
shit.
following him, rather than cheering him. What should he do to the cowards? Anything he wanted to. After all, he was a true hero, the best warrior there ever was. No one could stop him now.
Magnus
But
did nothing
first,
wrong.
Finish him. The Emperor, that is.
Horus is, you know, just a great dude. Karn is a swell guy.
Where was the rebel fleet? They weren't even trying an assault.
They're dead!
They were going to miss a day in history. The downfall of this dynasty, and a new one to take its place. He didn't have to kill all the ravens. He could enslave them. And enslave the toads too. All the animals would worship him as a god. For he had once been a god. They would willingly give him their blood and their souls. And the world would change. Would become familiar again.
Yeah, that's not ominous.
It was time for a little exploration.
All the word bearers wanted was the truth. Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Boy, someone has spent a lot of
Oh,
money
hey,
for
physical
graduation
resistance
present.
3. Nice. Immediately ruined by the joke of it, but whatever. This is actually a nice version of this environment, though. Or it was, now we're here. Wow, I did not expect that transition. I didn't expect that door to go from here to here. Angron just wanted to kill the Emperor because he was a tyrant. Same.
Reynardo was
I just
glowing
want to
with
kill
dark
the
power.
Emperor because he's a
Already
tyrant.
the sun had dimmed. He could do anything, he realized. He could wrap the island safely in smoke again. He was beyond a hero. He was going to become a god again. How odd, he thought, that the Iblis Stone had nothing to say about any of this. Well, no matter. Once he killed this petty toad emperor, he would bring back The Black Sun. And that is how we do it, said Reynardo to himself.
Imagine thinking that you're the good guy and saying we're gonna bring back the Black Sun.
Reynardo wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
This is such a weird game. Oh hey, there's one over here this time. Those things are lighting up when I come near them. I don't think they used to do that. Jesus Christ. We going in on it. Oh my god.
He found the Emperor and the Council huddling by his ship, plotting. They saw him and cowered before him.
Back to hell, fiend.
Croaked the Emperor desperately.
In the name of the Transcendent Emperor!
Croaked the Speaker. They held some arcane items he didn't recognize. He simply flexed his will and sucked their souls out of their bodies. And Iblis...
Fuck, it is just some 40k shit.
It is finished. And the void that had been a mere stone on a sword...
Oh god.
...expanded. It stretched and ripped like a vast womb.
Like a womb.
Gaze, black and pitiless as the sun, passed through the void into the land. And so time ended.
See, this is actually a good storyline. Like you feel the
just
weight
like
of it
that,
building.
He was alive again, and back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him. So, the book was a portal. It took you to the future, when your destinies would branch. He had failed and died 3 times, but he'd learned another true thing. The Iblis Stone was evil. It would try to corrupt anyone who used it.
Oh my god. That transition is bad. The transitions are terrible every single time. Choices made. Find the gem. Oh my god, I've never actually read any of these. What kind of hero are you? A hero who fully embraces power, who transcends being a hero who dares to become a god. A hero who is willing to risk space, time, the universe, and everything if the odds are in his favor. A hero who follows his heart.
But he was starting to feel like he was getting the hang of this. There was a way through to victory.
Okay.
He could feel it. He just
I kind of hate that this game is this long.
With that, the book fluttered back to the beginning.
But I stand by my comment earlier where I said that this game is like Stockholm Syndrome.
It was time to choose.
The more that you play it, the more you
rebellion
kind
was in
of like
trouble.
it.
Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness.
That's a new option.
And also,
in a
his
way.
old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course. Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Reynardo
That's
really
also
leave an old friend to the
they're all
Ravens?
getting progressively different. Yeah, like that was yellow last time because it was to go to the desert, and now it's just that. If I quit the main menu, is that gonna like make me lose my shit? All unsafe progress will be lost. Okay, but how safe? Real talk, how safe? I guess we're gonna see if this kill. So I guess we choose one and try to change the ending. Yeah, but we're not gonna do that because it's been like 3.5 hours and I'm just kind of worn out of this. But we might come back to this tomorrow. Or not. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna see if that deletes everything.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas.
I think it's just gonna
It
take
was
me back to
time
where I was.
choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also,
Yeah, okay.
a temple had risen out of empty
Yeah,
desert.
so it just
The Iblis
takes
Stone
us
was
back
hidden
here.
there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe
Might watch
he could find
Spider-Man
a way
tomorrow.
to use it.
I mean, I would.
To take its power without
I just don't wanna
surrendering
leave the
to
house.
its wickedness.
I also
And
have to work tomorrow.
his old friend
Dude, my
Lupino
hours
needed
the next
rescuing.
while are fucked.
course.
It's awful.
Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Reynardo really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Okay. Yeah, so this game is Stockholm Syndrome. That's what I've learned. It also isn't allowing me to pick an option to leave anymore. Like, I can't quit out. I can't. It won't let me quit out anymore. I'm pressing the start button and it actually doesn't do anything for me anymore. So that's really good that I can't actually quit back to the menu. So we're just gonna Alt F4 that. And, I still can't tell if that's a good game or not. I really can't. But, it's definitely a game. It's definitely a video game, and here's the thing. It got 3 endings in 3 hours. I'm assuming that those might move a little bit faster if you just decide to speedrun shit, like if you don't try and get upgrades and items and stuff, right? So if you just beelined it, I'm sure you could get through it faster. But like Nier, I think putting in the time actually is worth it. Because different endings seem to actually just be better than others. Because that last one was really good. Up until the transition just being absolutely trash tier terrible. It was so good. Because there was weight to it. Except for like 1 or 2 moments. Like the way the dialogue began to change to reflect the darker tone, the fact that it started to ignore him being his own independent person and started writing him and the stone being the same, and the fact that, like, you had a character who, after a couple of different endings, you had this built-up connection towards, where you understood who she was and what she meant to him. Especially because I played the one where he romanced her first. Right before that, that carried some weight. It had gravitas. And that was a good ending. And so I think... I hit my mic there. I think that if I were to have picked that ending first instead of going right on the Doomsday wagon, everything would have a bit more weight to it because I would be forced into those encounters. But I don't know. It was still kind of an out of nowhere sort of thing. Like, it's still very quickly paced, and I think that's kind of the point. But we'll be back to that. I think, like, I'm not going to just not do it. Like, it's a good enough game that I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna beat that. I am gonna look up how long to beat, though. Okay. So I have just like the video game itself, I can't really gauge this properly. Because on the one hand, it says the average length for the main story is 5 hours and a half at an average rate. The median is 5:10. Rushed is 3:40. Leisure is 9 hours. So I was on track to beat that in terms of the main storyline. But if we talk about the completionist style, it's about an 18-hour run-through, which tracks with what I was thinking, because if we're talking 3 endings per every 3 hours, and there was like 24 endings, like, freaking, like, that's a pretty good metric there, to assume that you're basically doing just about 1 every hour and then a little bit less. I don't know. The jury's out on whether it's a good game. I'd say that it is at least a fun enough game. But I'm not gonna recommend it to anybody yet. We'll see. We'll see how much I like it when I get through the fifth thing, like the 4 endings, and then like whatever the 5th lock is or whatever. We'll see. We'll see.